It's done.
I did 3.
Okay, there we go.
Yay. Okay, everybody. So glad to have everybody here. And I think you are going to love what we're going to talk about today. Stephanie Meiser, she is amazing. She is doing amazing things, and she is a hustle girl. Listen, she's got it going on. If you need ideas about setup for pop-up shops or how to get into with business owners, she's your girl. And so she's going to right now.
Right.
Stephanie?
I am here. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share this, the ideas of the markets and the pop-ups. I'm excited to share some thoughts and ideas. So I'll start out by saying that this was something that I started from the very beginning. Obviously, you don't have to, even if you've been doing it for a couple years, you can start at any time. But my very first market was just weeks after I started, and I didn't even have all the products, but I just set up a couple little baskets with stuff in it and made connections. From there, one of my friends was opening up a farm, and I was able to go and do free setups there for her because of the farm. So, and I just did it. And I will tell you, for the entire time I did that, I think I maybe sold 3 things. And it was week after week after week. But I'm like, I'm not going to stop this, because it's introducing, my main reason for doing it is it's introducing the products to people in a way that they can't get online. They're able to smell, they will come from across the parking lot following the smell of the products, which is so exciting, which I love that fact. So if you start them, if you don't have any sales, I will say just keep doing it. Keep at it. It's that whole flywheel. It will eventually pick up. So basically, I started doing the markets. From there, I started watching for Facebook events to, yes, it is. The smell is addicting. And that's why I tell people, it's literally like a spa every day in your home. So that's a way that I introduce it. As far as making connections and trying to find people to host events, whether it's at local farmers markets, whether it's look for local networking events, a lot of women are, especially women, are doing more networking events now, and they will highlight several vendors during that time. So look into that. Look into where when Facebook events pop up in your feed, search them out, research, see, maybe it's an event that you can participate in. Anywhere that vendors are, you can do that. Your local chambers, ask them if they're doing any local events, festivals, church ministries, women's events at churches. Even if there's only 5 vendors there, check it out. And I will say a lot of them, some of them are free, some of them are super inexpensive, but any of that cost is just going toward, that's a business expense. So it's a write-off. So think of it that way. Don't think of it as, oh, I'm spending $25 or $50 or whatever the cost is, that it's not going to be a return on your investment, because it eventually will be. Think outside the box. If you have local business owners that you know that have boutiques, or I do a lot at our local breweries, our beer breweries. I do those. Through May, I have 2 a month that I do. And you will be amazed at the contacts that you make at the breweries, because everybody's there. So just think outside the box as far as that goes. Fitness studios, yoga studios, Pilates. What are those big gyms called, where every CrossFits? Any of that stuff. Think about it. I do one at a local compound pharmacy, which is locally owned. That's been a very successful one for me. So if you have connections in the medical industry, as far as local pharmacies or even doctor's offices, a lot of the doctor's offices will do little pop-ups as well and focus on products. So the worst thing they can say is no. but at least introduce them to the products, ask them, because you're going to pose it in a way as well that they're going to receive benefit from it too, because they're going to be introduced, people are going to be introduced to them that might not know of them either. So you definitely want to do that. Think of your own doctor's offices, especially integrative and functional medicine. That's all the rage right now. Would definitely do that. Local spas, lots of different places that you can do. And then I'm just going to follow my notes here. Before the event, just a few tips to think about. Make a graphic of that event. If it's a regular event, sometimes they will make a graphic for you that you can share. If they don't, definitely make a graphic, share it on social media, share it with your friends. If you know other people that are going to be at that pop-up or at that market, tag them in it as well, because they're going to share, and then that's more coming back to you. So just think about that as well, as, sharing is caring. Do it as much as you can. Before your event, you're going to want to do a mock-up at home. You can do, and Beth is going to share some photos in a little bit, but I've done it as far as a 6-foot table. I've done 2 6-foots and a 4-foot. I've done 2 6-foots. Play around with it and see. Different markets and pop-ups are going to allow you different space. So figure it out based on what space you have. Once you have your setup down, it takes less than 30 minutes to set up. I can get it done very quickly. So just keep that in mind. I will set it up based on the methods, which again, you'll see in the photos. So I set it up based on method, and then I will also set up a tray of the cleansing bars, as well as the the body lotion bars. And make sure that you open the caps, because that will draw people in. So open the caps. If you have to use product, save your empty containers, because you can use those as your display, and then just don't take the caps off of them. I take my caps off of everything except the Muscle Bomb. I take the black lid off, but I leave the clear plastic over it, just so when people touch it, they don't burn their eyes. So that's a little tip there. Okay. Have signage for all the methods. I used to not do that. People will actually read it and look. So I have signage for each of the methods. And then I also, which you'll see in the photos, I also pick key things out of stuff that Jamie has shared, and I will make graphics for that and put that out as well. I always have a sign about the business opportunity. Nothing in your face, just very easy. And I can actually share, I can upload that into Trello as well. Something super easy as far as that. Around the holidays, you can have an extra table with gift sets, giving them ideas. Now that we're able to sell, it's going to be interesting during the holiday season to see what happens, because in the past, I've had a lot of men come in and purchase for their daughters and for their wives. So keep that in mind. As far as decor and your setup, use what you have at home. If you don't have the financial resources to go out and purchase other stuff, use what you have at home, layer it, decorate it with just a little bit. You don't need a ton. You want to have the signage and the products be your focal point. But if you do any decorating, bring in the aspect of what the products is. Keep in mind the brand as far as that goes. I use 2 large baskets for my setup, and I actually pack everything back in there. So I will have a basket that has all of my setup and my signs in it. And then I have a basket that has my product in it, because that way I can take the basket with the product, I can take that back in the house. But if I have reoccurring events, I just leave the other stuff in the car and I don't have to worry about it melting. So, and it's super easy to come in and out with that. Just think about helpful items that can quickly be packed up. If you're using your own personal products for setup, which I did initially, set a reminder on your phone to not walk out of the house without them. That way you don't, because I forgot man face one time and I'm like, oh, darn it. I wish I had man face, but it's in the end, if you forget it, it's okay. Just it's a quick little tip to set a reminder. If you are doing an evening event, don't forget lights. There's great lights on Amazon that you can get. And anybody that wants any resources, you can reach out. I can send you what I use. But there's a lot of portable battery ones that you can use. Another thing, ask about where you're going to be placed at the event. If you're not inside, you want to be focused or you want to be placed as far out of the sun as possible. So think about that when you're setting up. Obviously our products, you want to keep them out of the sun. So just a little tip to think about. And if you can pick and be totally shade all the time, that's great. I would do that. Okay. When you're at the event, this is where I will say I have learned the most as far as capturing their details. I've tried every way. I have done the QR code. I have done my business cards. I've done, I should have brought the little paper I made, which I can show you as well. One of the other things that I did make is a postcard size on Canva. And what I did was I have all my information on the front, and then on the back, I just say samples, and then I can write in what I've given them for samples, but it still has all my information on it. So that was kind of a jump ahead thing. But at the event, what I have found to be the most successful way to capture all their information, not to have business cards out, not to have my QR code, you'll see in the photos, I don't have MIG on my tablecloth or my signage right now. I'm getting another one made that I will possibly have it to hang behind me, because people will come up and take pictures of everything. So what I do when they ask, do you have a business card, instead of handing them a business card, or instead of handing them or having them scan the QR code, because I've had times where it did not always work. What I do is I ask them, or just say, I can set up your account for you. And I don't always even use the word account because I don't want to scare them. But I'll say, if you share your information with me, I can set up your link, send a link to you, then you're going to have $10 off your first order. You can explore everything online and order on your own, or they order there with me, or now they can purchase there as well. If they do order, what I do is another tip, keep your link in your notes section in your phone so that you can go directly to that link and populate it each time for each new customer. So, so what I do is if they're ordering, I set up their account right there, and then I screenshot their account with their password. And I usually do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. I screenshot a picture of it, and then I text it to them so that they have it, that they can go in and order at any time if they've placed an order. And kind of backing up to gathering their information, if they're not ready to order and they just want to explore, I will get their name, their email, and their cell phone number. And I just ask them, and it's amazing. They will freely give it to you. I've only had maybe 2 or 3 ever just say, oh, I'll look into it and see, and did not give me their information. So what I do is in my notes section on my phone, I list what market it is, and then I will list their name, their cell number, their email, Then I will put any bullet points there of setting up their account and email them the link. If they want to be added to Facebook, what we talked about, they might, if there was a problem point that they needed help with, that I will just send them the videos on that. So I send them the screenshot of their account. I send them any videos and then a follow-up message. And then I always offer to help them with their first order. And then I routinely follow up with them. But this guarantees that I have captured their information in my system as a potential customer. And then what was the question? Let's see here. Oop, I can't see.
What do you do if you have multiple people at one time? Mary asked.
Oh, at my thing. Usually they will wait for me. I have had a couple times where I've been doing an order and somebody will wait and talk to me afterwards. There's only been a few times that I have not actually been able to talk to somebody because I had people there. The events that I do are not huge as far as being flooded with different people, but a few that I have done, I have recently started taking one of my girls because my girls are welcome to come to any of my markets as well. And then we just share the contacts with them because it's helping me as well. It helps all of us. So we will rotate as to who gets to talk to the person, and it just kind of flows very easily. So if I'm doing a bigger market or a festival, I do like to have at least somebody else there with me so that they can help me gather information from people. So yeah, so ask if they're on Facebook groups, add them to groups, screenshot the details. I think I covered all that. And again, if you guys have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out. I just want to get through. I got my notes here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Again, you can do a QR code. Not opposed to it. I still have mine. I just don't set it out anymore. While you're there, be prepared to do samples. Have soap our cleansing bars is a great sample to have, as well as a rise. I will mix a rise in a bottle and then pour just a little bit into cups. And it's a great conversation starter of, hey, would you like to try our clean energy drink? So all of those things I use as starters, and then you can experiment with gift with purchases, especially around the holidays. Don't be scared to, again, it's an investment in your business. So definitely recommend doing that. When you're talking to them, listen for their pain points, listen, just be a good listener. Don't just continually overshare stuff, but ask them questions. Listen to key words that they might say. There's a lot of moms that'll pop up, then, oh, I use essential oils, or, oh, I smell this, or, oh, is this patchouli? It's amazing. The 70s ladies that are so familiar with patchouli, and they're like, oh, and it starts a whole conversation. So just get to know them. If they're people, it's amazing what people will ask you at these events. I actually, funny story, I was at a brewery and a couple walks up and they're like, hey, I think I told Beth this. They were talking about the pounce oil, or we first started talking about man face, and then somehow we got on the subject of pounce oil, and she was like, well, is it okay for silicone? Well, I'm not thinking. I thought she was talking about condoms. So I grab out the paper and I'm looking and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like, yeah, it says that it might not be effective for condoms. She's like, I'm not talking about condoms, I'm talking about toys. Like, okay. So you will hear it all. They just spill it. So all that to say, you just never know. Be prepared. I'm sure my face was beet red and then of course they're proceeding to tell me that they were off that night. So I sent them a little sample home with them. So it was quite hysterical. It will go down in history as an exciting night, definitely. So a couple other things. Things to make sure that you bring. Sample sticks. You can order the little, you guys are still laughing. I can see all your faces. The little wooden sample sticks. That's great to use. And don't hesitate to, speaking of samples, don't hesitate to ask if you have little girls come up to you or little, even boys, if the girls want to try something, it's a good way to introduce the product to say it's children, it's safe for your children. And if your children eat it, it's okay. So, but the little girls just love the way that the lotion bars feel on their hands. So think about that. Have your price list readily available. I print one out and I also have it on my phone. Bring a chair, cooler with water. If you want cold water or just have regular water. And if you're in a hot environment, obviously try not to be outside with your products, but if you are and it could be a little warm, you could always put the products, keep the products in the cooler as well. Snacks, because oftentimes if you're by yourself, you won't be able to walk away from your table. Computer, if you have internet available, and that's something to ask as well, along with an extension cord and your charger. Don't forget all that, but you can do everything right on your phone. Don't forget comfortable shoes. And if it's somewhere that you're going to be standing a lot, even invest in one of those rubber mats to stand on and just keep it in your car and take it with you. It will save your legs, your back, your feet. It'll be wonderful. Packets for the business opportunity, like Jen had shared before, like those little folders, that's great. I have printed out the product info sheets and I have a box, a file folder box that I take. I don't give them out super often, but there will occasionally be some people who would rather walk away with paper. So I have that available if they would need it. I talked about saving your MIG link on your phone. Most importantly, follow up. And that's where that's one of my areas that I'm not the best at and I need to improve in. But follow up is your most important part of it. Okay, and save your old containers. Beth, you want to
Okay.
pull up the pictures? I know we're
Stephanie,
close to
let
time.
me
Yeah.
ask you this real quick before I show the pictures. Jen is asking which credit card processing device you recommend.
Well, I haven't since we did, I have not gotten one yet. I have my old Stripe or Square one. What I've done the past two events, I've asked for Venmo, cash, or PayPal, because they can pay with PayPal through their credit card and just have them do it as a friends and family so that there's no fees on either way. But they can pay with PayPal through that. But there's Zelle. Once I figure out the best credit card one, I'll let you guys know. I have the little plug-in one that I used before. And think of it this way too, with even if you have to pay credit card processing fees, it's a very, very small amount to gain that customer. So, and as well, if they were to buy a bag of Arise with me, I will still get all of their information just like I do. I will set up their account. I will text it to them, screenshot it, and send it. So no matter whether they order there, whether they purchase there, whether I'm just have a conversation with them, name, cell number, and email. That way I have their information as long as they'll give it to me. I have all their information and it can go from there.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to share these pictures.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
And oh wait, let me just say this one real quick. I'm going to have Stephanie put these pictures, or I can put them in because I have them now in Trello. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So have you ever done like a giveaway and that's how you capture the people's information? Like you have a sign up. A lot of times, you know, at more of a business type thing that you'll do like a business card in the thing, but then you don't always get all the information you want. So like do a giveaway and they have a sheet that they can sign up for the giveaway. And that's how you capture their information. Have you thought of that?
You can, yes, you can absolutely do that. I initially would tried capturing their info or would write it down. For me, I found that putting it in my notes section was best, but there are certain events that will do giveaways. So you can always, have like, or they'll have like a raffle drawing, so you can do that. But you can absolutely, if you want to do, register for a free, I've done different things where they could register and get a free product. I've done it to where if they spend $150, they automatically get a free cleansing bar. Kind of play with it. Obviously, you don't want to give away everything, but you can absolutely capture their information. But I will tell you, you don't even have to give something away to get their information. Most times they freely give it to you.
Okay. Does anybody
Any
else
other
have any
questions?
questions?
And we'll upload those photos, but you'll see different ways that I've set stuff up depending on the type of event that it was. So.
All right, guys. Thank you all. I hope this has been helpful. I know it has been for me. I know it is, because this is like totally out of my wheelhouse, and it's totally in Stephanie's wheelhouse. So I appreciate you guys. This will be on the YouTube, so tell all your teams. Also, one more thing I want to say, this coming Thursday on where are we doing that training, Jessica? On here? Okay, sorry. Okay, we are going to have Kristen Herr. Is that right? Kristen Herr? Yes. Okay, she's going to be, she does the millionaire mindset. She's going to be training on this this Zoom account on Thursday, April 14th at 2 p.m. I have my glasses on, I just still can't see. So y'all be sure and join us for that. Okay, post it on your team
Eastern.
pages, tell everybody.
2 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern. Yep.
2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so this is a big deal. Try to be there. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Great job, Stephanie.
Thank you. You're welcome.
That was a fabulous.
Amazing.
I didn't say fabulous presentation. You did.
Thank you so much. I was like taking down notes.
Lots of notes.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.